Okay, so the big hint here is that the denominator is going to 0, and then the numerator is going to a fixed value. Okay, so when you're dividing something that gets closer and closer to 200 by something that gets closer and closer to 0, and you could put in like 199.9, but it really, the big situation is, it doesn't really matter how close you are to 200. What matters is when you come in close to 0. So you divide by 10, it's the same as multiplying by, dividing by 1/10 is the same as multiplying by 10. So that would get 2,000, or go close to 2,000. This would be 20,000, divide by 100, divide by 1/100th, multiply by 100, divide by 1/1000th, multiply by 1,000. So just the idea here, this wouldn't really be 200, it'd be close to 200, so these would all be close to 2,000, close to 20,000, close to 200,000. As x gets close, or g of x gets close to 0, and it's positive, and that's important. So it stays positive, so as you get close to 0, this is plus. If this is negative, then it would act a little differently. But the idea here right away is the denominator is going to 0, and the numerator goes to a fixed number. Then you know it's either infinity or negative infinity. It's one of those two. If the numerator is fixed and the denominator goes to 0, it either blows up to positive infinity or down to negative infinity. And because they're both positive, like that's the other information here, you know that you're coming into 0, but it's also positive, so you have a plus in the denominator. And then the fact that you're going to 200, that's a plus in the numerator, and that will tell you you're going to infinity. Okay, this problem, like if this was negative 200, and this was, you're coming in less than, but you're still going to 0, you're still going to 0 in the denominator, then you'd have like a negative value up here and a negative value down here. And in this case, you'd still end up at positive infinity because it's negative over negative. But you could have any combination of those two. Okay, so anytime your denominator is going to 0, and the numerator is not, then it's either plus or minus infinity is where you're going. If they're both going to 0, that's a whole nother story. Like if this is approaching 0, then we'll kind of deal with that later. But if this is going to a fixed value and this is going to 0, then it's either plus or minus infinity. And then you figure that out from whether this is positive or negative and whether this is positive or negative. So I hope that helps, but let me know if you have more questions.